Alright, welcome back to Missing Persons TV. I'm Brian Ladd with my co-host Deborah. Today's Tuesday, May 19th, 2009. We're going to be discussing 3 cases tonight from 2008, and then 2 additional cases that I did the night before and last night. We briefly discussed case 746, which is Patrick Aaron Leon, last night. We'll be covering that case in full, along with a new case, 747 Brandon Thomas Edwards. The cases from 2008 will be as follows. Case 623, Jeremy Michael Williams. Case number 624, Nadia Korsh. And case number 625, Ricky Lane Thomas. Before we get started, Deborah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Fine. We actually, every day now we've been going out and doing something, I guess like physical or something like that, with the family. We climbed up a mountain today. Walked around for a little while, got kind of lost, and then went back down. It's always a good idea to just keep an eye on where the sun's at and knowing where the sun sets. And we came down about, I don't know, maybe a mile about where we started from. So it does get a little disoriented when you're up there. And you're walking around. I can really see how easy it is to get lost in the woods. Really, really easy. It's
how many kids were you carrying?
Actually, my wife is amazing. Well, me and Samuel led the way. I was point man, and then Brandon and Allison were with my wife. She actually had to carry. Allison's 1 year old. You remember my wife's 5 months pregnant, and she just did fine. She carried a little bit. I carried her, and then she walked a little bit. But everybody had a great time. Brandon's asked me now, I want to go up mountain. It's like, Brandon, it's dark outside. We had a really good time.
That's awesome.
But
yeah, the weather's really nice now. It was actually in the mid-70s here today.
Yeah, it was like 65 today. It got pretty cold last night. It got down to 33 degrees. People are a little bit worried about their plants and stuff, but I think everything is just fine. I went down to the garden we have down the street, and everything looks good. But it was beautiful up there. Just getting away. I'm already live in the woods, but I'm saying just up there it's so quiet and peaceful. We actually we laid down and we just looked up at the trees and everything. It's just something that I know it's natural, but we don't really get to experience that too often. Or at least take the time out to appreciate nature and how beautiful it is and how peaceful it is.
Yeah, well, it's awesome that your kids enjoyed it so much, and Brandon's wanting to go back when so many kids are more interested in going to Playland at McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing how much stuff that's around you that's free, that's just as fun or if not funner than stuff you'll go pay for. Spend a lot of money for it. So they liked it. We'll probably do it again tomorrow. But that's what we did today. And so I heard you're taking Kitty in.
Well, it's looking now like the little guy that was rescued on Sunday, Tigger, will most likely be staying now. Of course, anytime you take a kitty, even short term, try to find it a home or take it to the Humane Society. We're just going to get it and save its life. Well, yeah, okay. Like we're really going to take it somewhere else. I think he's going to be staying, and he's adjusted really well with the one that we'd gotten a couple weeks prior. They're brothers, so Zazu is quite happy to have his little brother Tigger here. And then we have the 3 adult cats too. We have Lola and Jake and Corky. So they're all having fun. And now I've got the 2 little boys raising havoc everywhere.
I like little kitties. Luckily, we have a neighbor that takes in all kinds of stray animals, and she finds homes for them. She's been doing that for probably 15, 20 years. I had a litter of kittens. It was actually, we didn't know about it, but it was out there in the shed. And one day, these little kittens come in our house. We're like, what? What's this? And she found homes for all of them. No, I take that back. I think she kept one. So
we always end up taking kitties. We've gotten adult cats that needed to be adopted through the Humane Society, through someone that couldn't keep them. We've gotten kittens through the years that people couldn't find homes for. So the most we've had at one time has been 7. So I guess in my mind I can kind of justify this. They needed homes, and we're at 5 now, and we've had more than that in the past, so we're still okay. But all mine are indoor.
Okay.
So
some people were talking about the T-shirt that I'm wearing. It's This is not actually a real tie. In case you're confused, I actually made it with this little pen right here. And I'd like to advertise there. Oh, that's the wrong way. findaji.com. There it is right there. So this is the tie. I wanted to look professional tonight because you got to look good if you want to be taken seriously. You know, like I said before, if you don't look good, then no matter what you do, no one really cares. So really, all you got to do is look good, and you don't have to do anything else. So.
Yeah, it's really kind of come to that. It's
So
not about what you say or what you're talking about anymore. Yeah. It's more about what you look like sometimes,
right, so that said, good night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Okay. Night, guys. Oh, wait a second. We got some cases to do. Okay, let's get started, Deborah. The first case of the night is case number 746, Patrick Aaron Leon. Let me get the case file up in the picture. This is him right here. We discussed him last night briefly. We'll discuss the case in full now. I do have the dream drawings are posted to the site, as far as and along with a couple of links. Let me get the case open right here. Actually, I should have had it ready to go. All right, so the case is requested to be open on 5/17/2008 by Deborah. The case was open 5/18/2009. These are both 2009. Deborah, what information do we have for Patrick? And then I'll get into the dream drawings.
Okay, this is for Patrick Aaron Leon. Date of birth 5/18/1989, so May 18th of 1989. He's been missing since April 20th of this year, of 2009. Missing from Long Beach, New York. 19 years old, a white male. It says 71 inches tall. That would be 5 feet 11. 180 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, light complexion. He was last seen wearing a gray front zip-up sweater, jeans, 3/4 length black overcoat, and fur-lined Croc shoes. On April 20th, Patrick had indicated to his family that he was going to New York City to stay with a friend and that he'd call later in the day. He was last seen at the LIRR train station on West Park Avenue in Long Beach, New York. He's had no contact with his friends or his family since the time he went missing. He plays guitar, and he also plays open mic nights. His signature style is called tapping, similar to the musician Jeff Buckley. Patrick suffers from seizures, and he has a medical condition that requires he get immediate medical attention. If you know anything, please contact the Long Beach, New York Police Department at 516-705-7370. And what do you have on this one, Brian?
Thank you, Deborah. Is there a website for Patrick yet?
No, there's actually not much out there. There's the poster listed at the National Center for Missing Adults.
Okay.
And that's about where it ends at this point. That's why I requested this case, because it needs attention.
All right. With every case that we open, Deborah also opens a section in the forum. So this is an active case in our forums, and there's a link on the page. As with every other case, you can always go to the forum. If you have any information, please go there and submit that. That's always at missingpersonforum.com. The dream drawings that I have two. I think I showed them to you last night. Anyways, the first one says staying in their garage and the number 816. To me, this looks like, first of all, I see a dream catcher. I actually have one. So I'm not sure if that's really relevant to the case or not. And then I think these are bottles hanging up on, like, there's maybe a beam going across, and I think those are bottles or actually maybe even bowling pins. There's two of them. And then there's a third object. I don't know what that is, but it might have the number 3 in it. And it says staying in their garage, 816. I think that actually might be the maybe the home address or something like that. The second dream drawing says 7 miles, new machine. He's already sent email. It's possible he could be 7 miles from home. There also might be a mile marker on the right-hand side of the drawing. It says 7, and there's a 1 on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure what the 1 means, but I have seen mile marker signs that look similar to that. And then it says he's already sent email. So possibly maybe he sent an email or something like that to somebody that's saying he's coming home or his location. So it might be pretty important if there's any way to track his email accounts or anything like that. And that's all I have, Deborah. Anything else?
No, I don't have anything else for Patrick.
Okay. Moving on, this is the case I did last night. This is case number 747, Brandon Thomas Edwards. The case was requested to be opened last night. Dream drawings were posted today. Actually, it should be 5/19. Today's the 19th, correct? Let me just change that. 5/19/2009. Deborah, what information do we have for Patrick?
Brandon.
I'm sorry. No wonder why. I apologize, guys. I've got these screens open in front of me, and I was just reading the same thing. So the date is correct. This is case number 747, Brandon Thomas Edwards. The case was requested to be opened last night, and it was posted to the web today, 5/19/2009. Don't need to change anything. Deborah, what information do we have for Brandon? His picture's up on the screen, too.
Okay, great. This is for Brandon Thomas Edwards. His date of birth is September 4th, 1986. That's actually my birthday.
You know what else it is? My son's name's Brandon, and my middle name is Thomas. That was just a little weird when
Oh, I noticed that when I was getting this case ready last night, too. And I was actually looking at another case, and I found information right before I sent to you that that person had been located, but that young lady's name was Allison.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's your little girl's name.
I said, we'll be going through all my kids' names or something. It's actually
Well,
it's a little scary, though, because, you know, this can happen to anybody. I mean, it really can, and it's just, you know, you think about that, you know, what would I do if something happened to my kids? And, you know, I don't know, I'd probably go nuts. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'd be alive if something really happened to my kids. I mean, it's just something that, you know, you say, well, you know, you got other people to live for, but you just, at the point, and just thinking about that, I mean, I don't know what I would do. So, you know, like I said, it's really important that you you know, take care of, you love your kids, and be very, very cautious of other people. Go on. I'm sorry, Deborah.
Okay. Back to Brandon Thomas Edwards. He's been missing since April 14th of this year from Seattle, Washington. He's 22 years old, a white male, 71 inches tall, so that would be 5 feet 11, 150 pounds. He has brown hair and blue eyes, medium complexion, tattoo of a large cross on his back, tattoo of reapers on both of his upper arms, a tattoo of a tribal sun on his forearm, all in black ink. He has a surgical scar approximately 3 inches on his left knee, and he has 1-inch surgical scars below each armpit. Was last seen wearing a blue Nike t-shirt, baggy polo jeans, tan work boots, possibly a black hoodie, a black belt, carrying a black wallet with Ohio identification, possibly wearing an ID badge from Real Change. Brandon had been staying in a shelter in the area of the 2100 block of 2nd Avenue in Seattle. He'd been eating with acquaintances, and they say that he just got up and left without any of his belongings. Brandon was hospitalized prior to going missing, and he needs medical attention at this point. If you have any information regarding Brandon Thomas Edwards, please contact the Seattle, Washington Police Department at 206-684-5582. And what do you have on this case, Brian?
Deborah, you said something about a Real Change bracelet. What was that? You said Real Change?
Yes.
What is that? What is that?
It says here that he might be wearing an ID badge from Real Change.
Okay.
So like a name tag, or?
Let me look it up. Just real fast.
I've never heard of Real Change.
Okay, it's Seattle. The Real Change Homelessness Empowerment Project raises funds, raises the voices of the poor by supporting cultural, artistic, and literary expression. RealChangeNews.org. That's the bracelet. I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
I'm going to put a link to that. I don't know why. You were talking about church. There is something to do with the church in here. Anyways, the dream drawings, I actually have 4 of them. The first one says, Oregon Church, his mind is racing. There's a drawing of, I believe, it looks like a church to me, and there's a steeple up there. It says his mind is racing. Yeah, kind of like when you're worrying and you're worrying about the same thing over and over again. I think that's the way I kind of felt. Just really racing, same thoughts over and over again. The second dream drawing says, stop the pain, STF, which could be maybe like Saint Francis or something like that. I don't know, I'm just guessing on that one. Doctor has seen him there, must come home. Next dream drawing says, Haven, in trouble, and then the word brain, find the man. That could be referring to me or not. You get a phone call. Haven, I'm not exactly sure what Haven would be, other than maybe a place of where he's staying. And there's the drawing of there. It looks like some type of maybe some columns or something like that. The fourth dream drawing says, I think this is the man in the previous DD. This is a drawing of a man, a little more than shoulder length, hair, dark eyes. Looks like he's probably early 20s, maybe even younger than that. I think that's the man it's referring to in the dream drawing I just told you about. As far as location, yeah, I've got some Oregon church, and that's not specific enough to really get anything. But I do have a feeling that Brandon could be in danger, maybe from himself. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what I got, Deborah.
Okay. Once again, this case, Brian, is like the one that we were just discussing for Patrick, where there's really not a lot of attention for it. There's a poster up at the National Center, so that's another reason why this was one that I thought, should be opened by you to get some more attention out there. Because we know once you open them, they get quite a bit of information, put out there between the broadcast and, from your website, your case file on there, all of it starts, coming up on the net for people to learn more.
Well, you do most of the legwork, though. When we open a case, Deborah posts it in the forums. It's not only on Missing Person Forum. It's on findthemissing.net, and a lot of other websites we have interchanged with that. So it definitely helps on traffic. And like we said before, if there's any family member out there that has a missing family member, we'd be more than happy to set up a website for you. We'll run it, host it, and whatever else for free. And we've been doing that. We have 3 sites that we run, and that definitely helps, especially getting the name and the URL on the web and getting that registered. But let's hope that he's found soon. Because I did get
regarding the case you're just talking about, Brian.
For Brandon.
For Brandon.
Yeah.
We have Cynthia Macklin's mom. Hello to you, Deb. Great to see you in chat tonight.
Hey,
she says she's near Seattle, and there is a Haven downtown. It is a homeless shelter.
Okay, that's good. Can we get that in an email or something? Or instead of just me copying pasting Skype, and get that location, and let me put that up on the case file tonight before we close.
She says that she did volunteer work there.
Okay. Does she know anything about this bracelet?
She's going to look for it. Okay, great. Thank you, Deb, for help. Once again, that's Cynthia Macklin's mom. She's been missing since January 28th of this year. And today, Cynthia Ann Macklin finally was listed with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
It's about time.
You can print the poster from the website.
Right.
And
that just happened today, right?
Right. Just today, yep. And National Center is printing the flyers too then. If you want to look at that poster, you want to print those posters off and share them, share the link to it even with everyone you know, so we get more awareness that Cindy's missing out there. You can visit findcindy.com. That is website to bring home Cynthia Ann Macklin, and it's run by her mom, Deb. You'll find a link to that poster there. You'll find links to a lot of other information, other ways, other places and ways that you can help and learn more and spread the awareness. You can send emails to the media to try to get her some coverage there. There's links to contact pages. So please visit findcindy.com.
Thank you, Deborah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm glad she finally got listed. It's crazy that it takes that long for something like that to happen. But we're glad it happened, no matter how it happened or why it happened. All right, so our cases now, we're going to be discussing the old cases that I have posted on my website. These cases are from 2008. Our first case is number 623. I've just got its graphic up there. Let me open the case file. All right. This is case number 623, Jerry Michael Williams. The case was requested to be open, I believe. Well, I don't exactly know. Either way, the case was opened on December 19th of 2008. We have a few links here. We have that. Deborah, what kind of information do we have for Gary?
Jerry Michael Williams. This case is one that was opened by you, Brian, back before Christmas of 2008. It was actually it was requested via email on the 8-year anniversary of Mike going missing. He's known as Mike. Full name Jerry Michael Williams. This case is one that also kitties are being fed here, sorry.
That's okay. No problem.
This case is one that Gail St. John has done work on. In fact, she did a broadcast regarding this case also.
Right, just saw it. March 7th, 2009.
Right. So, information for Jerry Michael Williams. His mom has been really pushing, to get resolution to this. There's a little bit of mixed up circumstances. I'll give some vital statistics here, and then we can talk about that.
Okay, hold on 1 second. 16th, Deborah, we can just get the audio problem fixed. Okay, go ahead.
Jerry Michael Williams, and he goes by Mike. He's been missing since December 16th, 2000 from Tallahassee, Florida. His date of birth, October 16th, 1969. So he'd be 40 years old this year, 31 years old when he went missing, 5 feet 10 inches tall, 170 pounds, Caucasian male, brown hair, blue eyes. Like I said, he does go by Mike, and some places may have him listed as Mike Williams. Prior to the time he went missing, he had braces and also corrective shoes. He does have a chickenpox scar on his left cheek. He was possibly wearing camouflage print hunting clothes when he went missing, chest-high waders, a wedding band on his left ring finger, a watch, and a St. Christopher medal on a gold chain. It was last seen leaving his home in the area of the 5000 block of Centennial Oak Circle in Tallahassee, Florida, and this was on December 16th, 2000. Supposedly, he was going duck hunting at Lake Seminole, and they never heard from him again after that. Mike's boat and his green and tan 1994 Ford Bronco were found later on at that lake. They found no signs of him, however. To begin with, authorities thought that Mike possibly died in a hunting accident, that he could have fallen out of his boat and drowned. His wife, her name is Denise Merrill Williams. She accepted that story, she accepted that explanation, and she got a death certificate for him 6 months after he went missing. There was a 44-day search conducted on Lake Seminole for him that found no signs of Mike or his body. Investigators thought that his remains could have been consumed by alligators, but then they learned that alligators do not feed in the wintertime, and aside from that, they could not consume an adult man without leaving something behind to find. Every other person that has ever drowned in Seminole has eventually surfaced, but they've never found, Mike's remains. Now, after that, and then, realizing that, it didn't really add up, police now think that Mike is missing under suspicious circumstances and probably met with foul play. Normally, he did not go hunting alone, and supposedly he was going hunting alone on that day that he went missing. So that's not something that he normally does.
Okay.
See here. Right. He went hunting on his own. They found his truck was parked at an area that was kind of underdeveloped. It was a landing, but it wasn't one of the real busy, high traffic ones. Mm-hmm. It wasn't at the concrete landing ramp there at the lake that he normally would use. So that was kind of odd. They found his boat idling in Lake Seminole, and it was full of gas. And it looked like he could have, fallen out while the boat was running. And they say that if he had fallen out when the boat was running, the boat would have kept going in circles until it ran out of gas. They found Mike's waders floating 10 or 12 feet of water in a very heavily weeded area of the lake, and that was 6 months after he had allegedly drowned there. And just 8 days before Denise, his wife, had him declared legally dead. They found a lightweight hunting jacket and a small flashlight at the bottom of the lake the same day. The waders, where they found those in the weeds, they'd already searched that area, and they had no holes or teeth marks in them. The law enforcement believes that the waders and the other items were planted in the lake after the search was finished. And Mike's friends say that he normally didn't put the waders on until he got to the designated hunting spot. And for safety reasons, he wouldn't have been driving his boat with them on. So if someone was doing this to make it look like, to stage it or whatever, they didn't, quite dot their I's and cross their T's, because it's not adding up. The investigation got compromised to begin with because they thought he could have drowned. By the time the cops started looking into other theories, the crime scene had gotten contaminated and, evidence potentially lost or destroyed. In 2008, investigators started looking into his disappearance more, and they started investigating it as a case of insurance fraud. The statute of limitations for insurance fraud is 5 years, but it can be extended an extra 3 years under certain circumstances, and authorities thought that it applied in Mike's case. His wife Denise collected $1.5 million in life insurance for him after he was declared legally dead. The person who wrote the policy was Mike's best friend, Brian Winchester. In 2004, surprise, surprise, Denise married Winchester. And she'd known him since they were children. And now they live together in the home that she shared with Mike. So that's the circumstance, a little bit of messed up, twisted stuff that came into this case. Mike graduated from North Florida Christian High School. At the time that he went missing, he was making a heavy salary as a real estate appraiser, and he lived in an upscale neighborhood. He enjoys hunting and other things in the outdoors. And his loved ones say that they don't believe that he staged his own disappearance or that he left of his own free will. And he was close to his wife, his baby daughter, and his recently widowed mom. And his mom is very active in trying to find him. So would you like to share what you've got on this case, Brian?
Yeah, Deborah, the little drawing is what to look for. I know I discussed this with Gail, too, on her show. I have a location, and I have a way of possibly locating Jerry. First of all, let me read you the two dream drawings from December 18th of 08. First one says, go to lake, body was wrapped in canvas bag with quickcrete. Side note, this is concrete. Wrapped in brown rope, 6 feet. Look for triangle, sonar will find spot. There is I believe that the body was wrapped in a brown canvas bag, and quickcrete was placed in there. Quickcrete reacts with water, and then hardens and sets, and the longer it stays in the water, actually, the harder it gets. So that is feasible for something to happen. If you were to murder somebody, and you want to get rid of the body, you put them in a bag or something like that. And it was probably wrapped really good with this rope, and possibly that rope may have been polyester or something like that. I'm just speculating on that. So it wouldn't rot. Anyways, it says 6 feet, and I believe that's the depth. Look for triangle, sonar will find spot. First of all, let me go to the second dream drawing to tell you, I think, what happened. It says, does not really believe in God. Preacher knows it was her. Police have been to lake, go back, find triangle. Triangle will be what I'm going to talk about in a second. Hammer to skull. 12X, 8C, red dress. The notes on there say, Deborah, without a doubt, this man was murdered by a woman. She used a hammer, and it was an awful dream. Please search the lake. They already searched in the past, and then I did look, and they actually did search a lake in the past, and that link is there. I use a sonar fish finder or whatever works to look for a triangle made from 3 logs. The area is approximately 6 feet deep, and I think Jerry will be found soon. I just threw this. This is what I think. Let me get on the screen here to make sure you guys this is what I think, what it may look like on the sonar, if it's the right type of sonar. This would be on the bottom of the lake, in an area that's approximately, I believe, 6 feet deep. If you look there, I believe that somehow the body maybe it got caught up there, or, I mean, well, not caught, it's got creep. Either way, I think the body might be in that location, and you might not be, the logs actually might be masking the body. So if you're looking for a body and you're just seeing logs and you do see something shaped like a triangle, I would definitely look into it. The water is only, well, it says it's only 6 feet deep. I know water tables may change, but that's what I think on this case. I do think he was definitely murdered, and it sounds to me like what we're speculating is true, and it was probably done with a hammer to the head. I know that's awful, and if I put notes that said, you know, if a dream really bothered me, it probably really did. And that's and I did a show for Gail, and that's all the comments and everything we have on the case, Deborah. Anything else?
No, I don't have anything else on this case.
Okay. All right, let's move on to case number 624. This is Nadia Korsh. The case was opened December 20th of 2008. Deborah, what information do we have for Nadia?
This is for Nadia Korsh. Actually, just had a 6-month anniversary of her going missing on the 2nd of May here. She's 23-year-old, white female, 5 feet 3 inches tall, 110 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. She's been missing since November 3rd of 2008 from Homewood, Alabama, which is near Birmingham. She had gone missing on her lunch hour. She worked at the Tria Food Market, and she left work, and they didn't see her after that. Let me look here. They did locate her purse. Okay, here it's slow to load. They located her purse near some railroad tracks sometime after she'd gone missing. The time that she left her job was about 1 in the afternoon. When she didn't end up coming back and pick up her little boy, then they started getting really worried. So this was on November 3rd. The next day, November 4th, in West Birmingham, Alabama, they found her car, and that concerned them more. 3 days later was when they found her purse. That's what I was looking for, the date on that. So they found her purse on November 7th, and that was, it looked to be discarded, you know, kind of thrown on some railroad tracks, and that was also found in West Birmingham. So she did leave behind a little boy. Actually, he's a baby. Nadia herself, she's actually she's from Russia. She was adopted by her parents here, Nancy and Kevin, when she was a small child, and so she had a really special relationship with her parents, and they're looking really hard to try to find her right now. Do you want to share what you have on this, Brian?
Yeah, website. Do we have one?
Yes, there is one for her now. FindNadia.com.
Okay, I'm going to put that up. I can do that. FindNadia.com.
Wait. Nope, I was wrong. HelpFindNadia.com. Sorry.
NADIA.com. All right, thanks, Deborah. It's 2 dream drawings in this one. The first one says, 14 days, cannot breathe, he's choking her. She did not want to go with him. Check the call at work, the number 437. It says phone number. He has drugs in his back left pocket, size 34. That could be a pant size 34. And then it says 14 days. To start this off, it says DD's from last night. I'm not sure if Nadia's alive, but I think she'll be found within 2 weeks of last night. Obviously, that did not happen, so I don't know why it did or didn't, but that's what it says in the dream drawings. Maybe something else happened, I don't know. Not that I know of them. The second dream drawing says number 14, again, black trash bag, silver tape, Birmingham, Alabama, copper green, and then where the word park, 1 mile west, 2 tattoos, go to the area near the red house, has not been searched. And then what I did after that, it says I was able to find its location on Microsoft Maps close to Birmingham, and if the area has not been searched, maybe it should. I have a location on the case file. It's Copper Green Park. The GPS coordinates, I believe, are up there. It's not really a big area, but that's what I have as far as the case file. Looking after that, it does not look anybody's responded to the case as far as I know. So I don't know if this really went anywhere or not, but that's what it is. I have a location. Unfortunately, I don't think that Nadia's alive. Anything else, Deborah?
No, I don't have anything else for Nadia's case.
Okay. Okay, let's move to the final case tonight. This is case number 625, Ricky Lane Thomas. The case was open on December 21st of 2008. Deborah, what information do we have for Ricky?
Ricky Lane Thomas Jr. Has been missing since November 6, 1997 from Bristow, Indiana. This case was requested through email, Brian, from his sister.
Okay.
Like I said, he's been missing since 1997. His date of birth, December 21st, 1983. 13 years old when he went missing. He would be 25 years old right now. Yeah, I think that's right. 5 feet 8 to 5 feet 9 inches tall, and 170 pounds when he went missing. Caucasian male, sandy blonde to brown hair, hazel green eyes. He has small scars on both of his cheeks. Last seen wearing long denim shorts and a black hooded sweatshirt with Route 66 imprinted on the front of it. Ricky's stepfather, John Martin, saw him at the family home in Bristow, Indiana at about 11:30 in the morning on the day he went missing, and that was November 6th of 1997. Ricky had called his cousin, her name is Daisy Applegate, between 1 and 2 that afternoon, and he told her that he planned to walk home, walk to her home, which is about 1.5 miles from his home. Ricky was planning on staying overnight at his cousin's house, and the last time they saw him was shortly after he talked to her on the phone. He was seen walking along what they call Oak Ridge Road in Bristow, Indiana. He never got to his cousin's home, and they haven't seen him again. Ricky and his cousin Daisy were supposed to go to Tell City, Indiana that day, and he told her that he had $20 and that he wanted to go to McDonald's there. Daisy called Ricky's house later on that night to tell his mom, her name's Tina Martin, and his stepfather, John Martin, that he had never arrived at her home. But the mom waited until the next day to notify the police. Ricky had taken 2 backpacks and his wallet with him before he left his house. He left all of his other personal belongings in his bedroom. The money that he had told his cousin Daisy Applegate he had was left inside of his wallet on his dresser, it says here. But it also says that he had taken his wallet with him. Oh, okay. I think that he took the wallet, but he left the money behind on his dresser. Okay. Ricky had 2 13-week-old puppies at the time that he went missing. And they're missing too. His family says that they don't think that he would have taken them with him, but the puppies are gone too. Tina and John, mom and stepdad, told the authorities that they didn't believe that Ricky ran away. They say that he had behavior problems and he had also disciplinary problems at the school prior to the time he went missing, and they had him at home as a result of that. They were supposed to be homeschooling him, but they were both at work at the time he went missing. The mom, Tina, and dad's stepdad, John, both took polygraph tests, and they never released the results of those. They haven't made any arrests in Ricky's case. Stepfather was named a possible suspect in his disappearance, though. Sometimes Ricky would go and live at his cousin Daisy's house for months at a time when his mom and stepdad said they couldn't control him. And after he went missing, an anonymous caller told Tina Martin to go to, and that's his mom, Tina Martin's his mom, to go to a remote location and she would find proof there that he was still alive. Tina went to that spot that she was directed to, and she found Ricky's snow globe there. Later, John, and that's the stepdad, admitted to planting the snow globe there, disguising his voice and making the phone call to Tina. John, the stepdad, also did not participate in the search for him. He's now divorced from Ricky's mom, Tina. Cousin Daisy Applegate says that she thinks Ricky left on his own and that he'll return home when he's grown up. Authorities think he met with foul play, though. Ricky's biological father, Ricky Lane Thomas Sr., died in his Evansville, Indiana home in the year 2000 from a drug overdose. They don't suspect foul play in his death, and they don't think that he was connected with his son's disappearance at all. So they've never named him as a suspect. They do say that they had a troubled and violent relationship, though, and some of the family members do suspect that the real dad was involved in him going missing. What do you have on this case, Brian?
Thanks, Deborah. So the authorities do suspect foul play was involved, and so if they suspect that, then definitely they're turning towards somebody that's close to them, somebody that's like the family member, then stepfather.
Right, they suspect the foul play, and the one that they've named, I mean, it says that some of the family suspects it to be the biological dad, but he passed away in 2000, and they had never named him a suspect up to that point. The stepdad, though, you know, that he lived with, that's now just, you know, divorced from his mom, he's the one, though, that planted the snow globe and made the phone call to the mom saying you'll find proof that he's alive and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it just doesn't look real good there.
And I know it doesn't, but you never know. Polygraph tests, is there any history of cases where they withheld polygraph tests for some period of time, and then they released them, and the polygraph tests were people had passed the polygraph tests, or have they always been that they failed?
So you're asking that, you know, if they don't release the results,
yeah,
does that normally indicate that they didn't pass it?
Yes.
That normally they go ahead and release them and say they passed?
Right.
Or they say it this way? You know, honestly, I don't know. I tend to think that
I don't know either. That's what I'm asking.
You're right on that, though.
Okay.
That, you know, when they say when they don't release them.
Well, usually if somebody passed a test, like well, what's his name that said that he's got this missing person, he helps find missing people, and he said, you know, the first thing you should do is take a polygraph test, clear it.
That would be Mark Class, right?
Exactly. Wonderful guy, and he does know what he's talking about. What he said is that the first thing you do is you clear the polygraph test, so the suspicion goes off you, so you can get back to looking for your child.
Exactly.
And this sounds a little weird. Why not clear the person? So it looks to me like they didn't pass, but that's not what we're saying in the suspects may not necessarily be what's in my dream drawings. There's two of them. The first one says, likes to wear a hat. She took Rick to West Virginia. Was teacher. Did not know where he was going. And it says not father, girl, FP. I think I made a note. It might be girlfriend. And I believe her name could be Jean. There's a drawing of her. She has glasses. Probably her. I think she has her hair up. She looks like she's probably about maybe 20 to 25 to 30 maybe. It says not father. She's wearing a necklace, and it could actually be a cross, maybe laying like that, or maybe it's something else. I'm not exactly sure. But I think that she's the one responsible for his disappearance. The next one says 881397 K's Garage, Nissan Blue. Not father, worked there, stop, and then the word warm. That number might have something to do with the license plate or not. I don't really know. And there's no additional work done on this case at all. Unfortunately, the symbol on the bottom right-hand side, it says stop and then warm. I do know that symbol, and I don't like it. But as far as I know, this is all I got. I don't know anything other than that you just said, Deborah. Any other comments or anything? We can redo this, but you know, to get maybe a more specific location. But I mean, if there was possibly a teacher that he had or something like that, and that teacher's missing, maybe somebody might want to look into that. But it says not father. I don't know why it says not father. I don't have a clue. Anything else?
The only thing I'd say is, you have it saying not father, not father. Well, it talks about his biological dad and how they did not name him a suspect. And there was a troubled relationship between them. He did not live with his biological dad. And there was arguments, and there was, some conflict there. So then he did, however, live with his stepdad and his mom. And the stepdad has been, named a suspect. And he's the one that put the snow globe there as a hoax. So I don't know if, with what you've come up with there, and you have it indicating possibly a teacher. The places they were looking was stepdad and real dad, so both of them basically are father.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know what you mean.
You're trying to say, look, maybe it's meaning not father, not father. You guys got it wrong here. Dad didn't have anything to do with it.
No, it says not father not once, twice. It says it 3 times. So I'm just, not father. It says it 3 times in 2 different dream drawings. And then there's actually a drawing of a vehicle. It looks like some type of sedan. But that's all I got. If anybody has any information, please, as always, please go to the forums, missingpersonforum.com, which is up there, and post any information that you have. That is the best way to get the information out. You can also go to WebSleuth. I think that websleuth.com or sleuth.com, they do a lot of good work as far as trying to figure out a lot of cases too. That's all I have on this case, Deborah.
That's all I have on it too. I marked it down for a redo.
Okay. Okay, so our cases are done. Who are we forgetting about?
You're going to talk about the little dude, right? I know you brought him up earlier, and you're advertising on your station.
Yeah, I'm advertising him right now. No. See, that's backwards. When you look at this camera, I'm going like this. Everything is backwards. I don't know. So if I go like this, find Aji.com right there on my professional T-shirt, because I want to look good tonight. Aji Desir went missing January 10th, 2009 from Immokalee, Florida. He's currently 6 years old, has the intelligence or IQ of a 2-year-old. He's in desperate need of somebody to help find him. Please go to findaji.com and download some photos and pictures and print them out. You can take them to Kinko's. They will print them for you for free. Somebody out there may have seen Aji, but they didn't know he was missing, and this is really, really getting frustrated when it seems like nobody in the world cares. Deborah?
Well, it kind of seems that way, with Aji. Actually, more than kind of seems that way. It really seems that way with Aji being missing, and attention going to other cases, attention going to cases where the child has been located and someone is in custody and has been charged in the disappearance, in the murder, in whatever. Some of these cases seem to get attention, and then some sadly do not. And we've gotten really, really tired of Aji not getting attention. So anyone that can help bring attention, where is Oprah right now? Everyone, please email her and tell her to help find Aji, please. Something needs to give here. I'm getting really frustrated. And Nancy Grace, if you're listening, which I know you're not, but just in case you are, thank you so much for that coverage you promised to give and never did. We're still waiting for that one. And I'm going to stop now. Okay.
And how you feel. Okay, thank you guys. Remember, that's www.findaji.com. Thanks, Deborah. Kevin Doyle has some notes on these cases. I will post them after the show, along with all the other work that we're going to do. And once again, you go to missingpersonforum.com if you have any information or anything that you want to post. Please do it at missingpersonforum.com. So we'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, -5 GMT, on Missing Persons TV. Thank you. Good night, guys.